Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Gaia Force Gaming, and this is the second time I'm recording this because my mic was off. But a lot of you guys have been asking for this deck list, and I wanted to give it to you guys because I'm a man of the people. So here it is. This is Security Control, Angel Control, Slow Mill, Harrismon Rush, Purple Yellow Good Stuff, the deck everyone loves to hate and everyone hates to love. But you guys really wanted to see it. This is for BT14 format. I kind of played it a little earlier in the format. I've been playing it a little bit here and there. Megan and I have been talking about it, play testing with it, discussing it. Megan being my teammate. Shoutouts GFG. We are the best team in the world with the most handsomest people. And yeah, we've been talking about the deck, theory crafting, and just seeing what lists we like for at least the early meta of BT14. Without further ado, here is the deck. The audio is recording this time, so we're safe. Hopefully I'll hit all the same points. Starting with the eggs, we did end up going with the Tokemons, just the draw power. When you need it, can be really good. You push up the rookie, start drawing cards. The rookie's there if you need it to chip some damage, which you don't really need. But you could. This deck surprisingly can be pretty aggressive. I've won a couple games just by swinging out. But anyway, for Tokemon, we have 4 Harrismon. I think Harrismon is super safe. It gets around a lot of protection. It gets around effects that stop option cards and security and will still save you from losing the game. It recycles itself from its security effect. It still battles, so it'll kill a 2k or less in security. Overall, pretty strong. Next up on the list of Digimon, no level 4s, but we go right to the BT1 Magna Angemon. Everyone knows him, everyone loves him. On play, recover 1. We got a new toy in the Magna Angemon Ace. On play, or when digivolving, but we don't have any level 4s here. Recover 1 if you have 5 or less security, and then you minus a DP for every minus 1k DP for every security you have. That being said, don't be afraid to just use this as a kill spell without recovering. Obviously, you want to recover if you can, but sometimes you have a bunch of security and they have a level 4 or 5 that they're about to try and build up, and you just bam, blast it. Pun intended. Other Digimon, we play 2 of the new Seraphimon. When digivolving, you recover 1, and then both turns, whenever you would add a card to security, you minus 7k DP and get security plus 1. I think it's okay. It's 2 feels like the right spot. I had it at 3 for a little bit. I know some people who play this deck run it at 4. I think 2's okay. 1 would even feel good. You can cut it all together if it's not your flavor. The one that I wouldn't cut is 3 Shadow Seraphimon. I might bump this to 4. This card feels phenomenal. I've slammed it for 12, not felt bad about it. It just answers a lot of problems, and usually the things that answer it will then in return die. Like War Greymon stacks swinging into this with Raid are just going to end up biting it because you on average minus 20 to 28,000 DP. So we do play 2 of the Deathx. I know in some of my videos you saw me going 1 Deathx, 1 Zwart, but I did end up going back to 2 Deathx just because I feel like the popular decks this format that are bad matchups, primarily Bloom, just really aggressive decks that can almost overwhelm your board. You want to see this early, you want to see it often, so just upped it to 2. Yellow Tamers, we got 1 TK. I like looking at my security. I like planning around what I see. It very rarely misses, but there's that option because you do run Deathx, which won't let you recover. You do run straight purple Tamers, which won't let you recover. So be wary. We run 2 of the Cari. It's a memory tamer, and it lets you gain a memory when you recover. This lets you keep turn when you slam the Magna. If you need to keep turn to just immediately evolve it, it lets you keep turn evolving to Seraphi, which can come up again if you want to evolve to Shadow Seraphi right after. Put them at 1. It just can help you in combination with your other cards keep turn off a Hellside or a Holy Wave, etc., etc. And it's a memory tamer. It's 4 cost. I think it's decent. You want a couple yellow tamers. I think this is a pretty good one. Purple tamers. We want 3 Mimis. I can see going to 2 if you need space for something that's your flavor. But I just really like Mimi. People forget about this card all the time. I can't tell you how many times someone has played HPD or X Antibody, and I just Mimi it on into my turn. So be wary of that. For Cari, I was running at 3 for a little bit, but why would I be so silly as to run it at 3? It is the ultimate tax. It is just such a goofy card to play around. You can trigger it off TK in this build. It's very strong. I think 4 Cari is almost a non-negotiable in a deck that needs a purple Tamer anyway, especially one like this, where you're trying to get that incremental advantage over your opponent. And I mean, really, that's the name of the game, but we'll talk about game plan as we go on. I forgot to mention in the intro, this deck was crafted mostly last format by Megan, who is our team's control player, and me and her play test all the time. My teammate, roommate. I don't know if I've said that in this video or not, because again, the first one got scrapped. But we've been play testing this and seeing what feels good. I've just been in the driver's seat for a little bit of her Formula 1 car. Let's see what order I want to do these in. Put these to the back. All right, let's see. We got 4 Holy Wave. It's important to have ways to pass turn, ways to advance game state. I think Holy Wave is a great pass, like a great way to just, hey, your turn. There you go. Good luck. 4 D-grade, the best removal card in the game. A lot of things can't stop you. I love it. What's more to say? 4 Hellside. Don't be afraid to use this as just removal and not get full value off it. That being said, my Mulligan condition 9 times out of 10 is trying to see this guy as early as possible so that these are live in security. I think you want to see this and slam it early if you can. We do have 3 Tactical Retreat. I was running 4 for a little bit, but I just wanted to find room for some other stuff, and it felt like a spot. I feel like Tactical Retreat is like a 2 to 4. Harrismon's like a 2 to 4, but I think together you don't want those to be less than 6. Like, this combo can be so potent and feel like it lasts forever. I think you definitely want at least 3 Tactical Retreat, because it's also can be used in a pinch to put, you know, anything back in your security if you just need just that one more turn or one more check or what have you. We have 3 Wyvern's Breath. This was at 2. This was at 1 once upon a time for this list, but I wanted to go back up to 3 because it's really good into the War Greymon matchup. It gets around a lot of protection. It's really good in the Bloom matchup because it answers Quartzmon even if you don't have a purple Tamer. It's strong. It answers a Bloom if they don't have the second buff. It answers a Quartzmon swinging at security. I think Wyvern's Breath surpassed Long K again. The 12K just doesn't do enough, even though the other part of the removal is pretty strong. As for one-ofs, you got to run the Reinforce. And got to run the Calling. I know what you're saying, Tyler, but Tyler, the only purple Digimon you run is Deathx. You're not running the Calling specifically to get back purple Digimon. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of the times you don't have anything on board. Getting a free Deathx or 2 back from security feels pretty good. But what feels better is popping a Shadow Seraphi when you need to clear their big stack and recover 1. It feels good. It's a way to do that. So, you know, just a way to kill your Digimon. And I chose to run 1 Schwarz. I think the Schwarz is a very powerful effect. I do only run 10 Tamers. It's a lighter Tamer count than past iterations of this deck, of control decks in general. But I think the Digimon have a little more of a focus. It is a little Digimon heavy for my taste. But since 4 of them are pseudo security bombs, 8, 9, 10, 15 Digimon, it's ideally I like a smaller count, but Harrismon still goes off. I find a really good way to play this deck is if you're playing against a setup deck, swinging can be an option. This deck can, if they don't got things in security that'll help them set up, if they're not a Tamer-centric deck, just swing. Hit them with Harrismon, hit them with your Magnas, evolve into that Seraphi, hit for 2 checks. It feels okay doing stuff like that. If your goal is to slow mill them, if they're playing a faster deck, like a stack deck that evolves, you just got to use your removal at pivotal times so that they use the maximum amount of draws and get the least amount of good stuff out of those draws, for lack of a better term. I think this deck's really strong into a lot of the meta. I think it does really well into Mirage. It does really well into Greymon, believe it or not. Even if they're running the Yuya, you just take that turn to recover and then go back to answering all their stacks. They like kind of give themselves like 1 or 2 turns. Excuse me, 1 or 2 turns where they need to like really put in that damage and kind of hope that you get unlucky. But I think it's a very manageable matchup. I think your bad matchup's Bloom. I think that might be the worst matchup in the meta, at least that I've seen so far. There are some decks that you just almost auto win against. I think this deck is insanely good against the Fenrir Lugermon. I think this deck is really strong against the yellow vaccine deck. Just decks that don't go wide fast enough, or with enough like actual swings on the turn they go wide, gives you a chance to answer. And this is a good shell. Give it a try. If you are a fan of control decks, get good practice in with it or against it so that you know how to play against it, because I don't think this deck is going anywhere. I think this is an archetype that is evergreen in Digimon now. It is going to be the hard control deck, death and taxes, you know, kind of just pop your board, make you play the game that this player wants you to play until you either deck out or get out resourced. In like if this deck takes small incremental advantages and uses RNG to exponentially just tailor those advantages in their favor. So here's the list. Everyone wanted to see it. Angel control, security control, purple yellow good stuff, purple yellow control, slow mill is like our joking way of talking about it. It's that we're gonna mill you out, but not from our effects, from yours. So I mean, overall the deck plays really well. I will say, you do, if you're gonna bring this to a competitive environment, hot take, everyone, the security control deck is not the slow part of the matchup. It is the opponent thinking their way out of the tough situations. You gotta be a little comfortable, you know, telling your opponent, hey, it's been a few minutes on your turn now. What's the move? You know, you gotta be comfortable just agreeing with your opponent that you guys are gonna play a fast-paced game. That being said, when I was at PPG for the case tournament, me and Brito played a game 3 in under 3 minutes. So come on, guys, what's your excuse? We're not special. We're not superhumans. So I only went to time once with this deck, and it was against a player who was playing the Lugamon deck, which has very long turn sequences. You know, it's the first week of the format, first weekend of the format, so I get it. People are playing slower, learning their combos, learning their cards. But I very rarely go to time with security control due to the things my deck does. That being said, it's a deck that it's a deck that a lot of people love to hate. I hate to love it. If you hate it, if you love it, either way, I love you. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm not recording another one. Put it in the book. Follow me on Twitch. Get gamer subs for clean energy. Use code GFG for 10% off your order and to support me. And join the Discord. Love you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And be good to your security. You know what I'm saying? All right. Bye.